Yes, I. Greetings, giving thanks. Hail Selassie Ajah, Rastafari. So most people know the term Ten Commandments, coming out of Exodus, chapter 20. What people do not realize is that there was a second Ten Commandments given unto our forefather Moses, as documented in Exodus, chapter 34. When Moses had came down from the mountain to witness the children worshiping the molten god of the golden calf that they had made with earrings, he broke the tablets, essentially making them void. He ordered that calf to be melted and drunk by the children. Shortly thereafter, another series of laws was expressed through the Lord, and even the instructions from chapter 23 and onward to perform certain duties, and even building the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle wherein it rests, were given unto our forefather Moses. This was done before the second Ten Commandments was enacted in chapter 34 of Exodus. Now the first two of the second Ten Commandments are identical to the first two of the first Ten Commandments, namely to serve the Lord and the Lord only, and to make no molten gods, which coincided with making no graven images. The next 8 change. The Sabbath remains one of the 10 commandments. However, it gets pushed onto the 5th commandment. The third being to honor the feast of the unleavened bread, which comes on the 15th day of the first month, acknowledging rebirth of life into our spring, what the English language calls spring, and we call it the feast, the Passover. It falls one day after the Passover, and we see this documented in Leviticus 23:6. The 4th commandment, to offer the firstling, first offspring of the ass for a lamb, signifying our rebirth, to become dead in the flesh and alive in the spirit. The 5th being the Sabbath day, to acknowledge the gifts from His Majesty of creation, those things that have been given to us freely by Him, so long as that we follow His command. The earing of the corn and the harvest. This follows with the Feast of the Weeks, which is also known as the Feast of the Harvest, to be celebrated at year's end. Some may say, it's 50 days, in the from the 3rd month, or you get all kinds of interpretations, but the scriptures tells us this is at the year's end. Exodus 34:22. Also Exodus 23:16 signifies it is the day of the first fruits. So it is our day of Thanksgiving. Now, it is not to get confused with the Feast of Tabernacles, which falls in the 7th month. And between the Feast of Tabernacles and various days of atonement, we are in celebration for most of what we consider to be October. So this Feast of the Weeks, or otherwise known as Feast of Harvest, or Day of the First Fruits, can fall at what considered to be the end of the year, and that can vary based on where your location is, because obviously certain vegetables, fruits, and other gifts of creation come to manifest to fruition at different times of the year. So let us acknowledge this and celebrate it in the way that we see fit and according to our Creator, Master Redeemer, Yah. The 7th commandment of the second 10 is that the man children be presented before the Lord 3 times in the year. This is the high priest, the Levite, the order of the Levites. We are to go before God in his altar, as stated in Exodus 23:17. The 8th commandment of the second 10 is, shall not offer blood or sacrifice with leaven, neither sacrifice of Passover be left until the morning. So, Jah deserves all. If we shall be lukewarm, he will spit us out. And it's the Christ that stated to beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. So this commandment symbolizes our pact with our Creator and our separation from our oppressors. The 9th of the second 10 commandments, the first fruits of the land to bring unto the Lord. Again, he is signifying that he is in full control, that this is his creation and everything therein is his. Yah. It's not a male, it's not a female, it's a being. We use the term him as we use the term her when we speak of the earth. We know the earth is not a female. You know, it doesn't have female genital parts. It doesn't produce humans in the same sense. It produces offspring through life. And so does Jah, because Jah is the maker of all heavens and earth. So, Rastafari. And the 10th of the second 10 commandments is that you shall not seethe a kid in mother's milk. So, he is telling us that we must remain clean, and that there are certain laws that we may not understand, and yet this will be revealed unto us so long as we obey his command. And this is our proof that the Master is real and Rastafari is alive.